there, and welcome to Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. My name is Miss Dawn, and I'm so excited that you are here to join us for a virtual tour. We're going to see lots of really awesome animals today and learn some really interesting facts. So if you guys are ready, we're going to go ahead and get started. So the first attraction as you're walking into Australia walkabout here is this long kind of winding path, and this is where our wallabies hang out. So this is our wallaby yard. So we have one of our wallabies up here. They found the water bowl, so they're just getting a nice drink of water on this hot, warm day. But they're really cool to come in here and see. Guests get to go up close with them because the wallabies have the opportunity to come out into the yard. And so you can see them really up close, and sometimes you can even touch them. I'm not going to reach and touch this one right now because it's showing me that it wants its space, it wants its distance, so I'll just stay right here and look at it. But wallabies sometimes get mistaken for mini kangaroos or baby kangaroos. Now, even though they look similar, they're not the same animal. Kangaroos do get a lot larger, and there's different types of kangaroos. So the wallabies here, a lot of them are actually full grown, even though they're shorter, but they are similar in that they're all marsupials and they have a pouch in their bellies. The females have a pouch in their belly areas, and that is where the babies, the joeys, will grow in, and then when they're ready and their feet and their tails are nice and strong, then they'll come out and they'll get to hop around the yard and enjoy it with the guests and the other wallabies. Because of the relationship that our keepers have with the wallabies, and that the wallabies have with people because they're able to come out every day and kind of get to choose what areas they want to go in and what level of interaction they would like to have with guests and visitors and keepers. we have a really awesome relationship with them. And so even when they do have a joey in their pouch, you can see that they do allow us to get pretty close and see that. The difference here though is that when the joey is in the pouch, it is not fully developed. So most mammals, when they give live birth to their young, they are fully developed. In the pouch, that's where they are developing in marsupials. So the joey that is in this pouch currently does not have hair, but still needs to be cared for and looked after and cleaned by mom like she is doing here. So she is keeping a watchful eye, and then that is really close to where her mammary glands are. And so the baby can get milk from in there. And then as they start to grow hair and get a little bit older, they start to kind of come out of the pouch a little bit, maybe just poking their head out in the beginning, and then testing, like using their hands to kind of touch the ground. And then might come all the way out a little ways and just kind of stay close to mom, but always going and folding right back up into that pouch, which is very surprising. Once you see them out of the pouch and then go back in, it is kind of surprising how much actually fits inside a wallaby pouch. Our zoo, we don't have any red or gray kangaroos that people are accustomed to seeing when they think of kangaroos, but we do have a tree kangaroo. This is Tristan, and Tristan is a Matschie's tree kangaroo from the island of Papua New Guinea, and they are a really cool species. He still sits about 3 feet to 2-ish to 3 feet, just like the wallabies do, so still a little bit smaller, but where the wallabies are always on the ground, tree kangaroos, just like in their name, are actually adapted to living up in the trees. So he has a lot of the same adaptations. He has the long feet and then also a nice long muscular tail to help with balance when hopping around, but especially to help with balance when hopping around in trees, because those tree limbs are going to be a lot smaller than hopping around on flat ground like other kangaroos and wallabies are used to doing. Tree kangaroo Tristan is a male, so he does not actually have a pouch like the females do, and we don't have any female tree kangaroos at our zoo, only female wallabies. So Tristan here, even though he lives by himself, he is pretty content. He actually tree kangaroos spend about 60% of their time sleeping. And when they're not sleeping, he is up and usually eating some of the awesome treats that the keepers have hidden around his enclosure. Sometimes they hide them in different toys and things, and so he likes to play with those. But as you can see here, he not only eats the lettuce and all of the other wonderful vegetables that the keepers give him, but even sometimes will eat the bark off of the trees. So tree kangaroos are this fancy word called folivorous, which means that they eat leaves and vines and other plants that they can find. And then sometimes they will also eat fruit and flowers and the tree bark, but usually it's just leaves and other branches and things that they have found around their environment. But here at the zoo, Tristan gets lots of fun different foods. One of his favorites is actually corn. He really enjoys when his keepers give him corn. Sometimes they hide it, again, for him in different puzzles and things for him to kind of use not only his body, but his brain as well to figure out where that food is. And then it just makes that treat just that much more special for him. So loud. Oh my God, this is so much better than I could have imagined. I like want to. Oh my God. The most I've literally ever seen you do. So at our zoo, we don't actually have too many marsupials, but we do have this really special marsupial that I'm excited to introduce to you guys. They are actually probably my favorite marsupial, and that is because they are North America's only marsupial. Most times when we see marsupial species, we are actually talking about the regions of Australia and the surrounding areas around there. So North America is very lucky to have their very own marsupial, and it is the Virginia opossum. And it can get confusing because there is actually a smaller animal in Australia called a possum without the O. And so sometimes these two get mixed up, but here in the United States, we have opossums. And although they have the name Virginia in front of them, they're actually pretty widespread throughout the country. So we kind of see them all over the place. And they are really awesome, really wonderful to have around because although sometimes they get mistaken as pests, they're actually really, really helpful at pest control. So opossums can eat, they are omnivores and they are also opportunists, so they eat lots of different things. And they have 50 sharp little teeth in their mouth to help them eat lots of different types of things, including ticks and fleas. So in 1 year, an opossum can actually eat somewhere around 1,000 ticks and fleas, which is super helpful to us as humans, especially if our dogs are around. We don't want them to get sick from fleas or any of us to get sick from ticks or anything like that as well. So opossums, although they have a short lifespan of only 3 years, are actually really helpful parts of the ecosystem in the few years that they are on the earth. Thanks again for joining us on our virtual tour today. I had lots of fun showing you guys around our zoo. I hope you enjoyed seeing all of the animals and learning lots of interesting facts. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. See you next time.